Up next in the day beer review, we're going to be looking at Weiss by Grimm. This is a Heffeweissbier, and it's double decocted mashed can conditioned wheat ale, coming in at 5.5% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich. Welcome to the end of the day beer review. If you're new here, welcome. If you like the content after you watch it, consider subscribing. What we're going to be looking at today is Weiss. This is a Heffeweissbier, and it says underneath it, double deconcoction mashed can conditioned wheat ale, and it's coming in at 5.5% ABV, and this is by Grimm. Now, Grimm is out of Brooklyn, New York. In fact, it says here that this was brewed by Grimm in Brooklyn, New York, and it also says that Craft Beer Competition 2021 and New York State. I don't know. There seems to be some sort of like little thing there. I don't know if it's an award. And quite honestly, it's really hard to read. And I really don't feel like, I guess that's a gold medal in the New York State Craft Beer Competition in 2021. So this seems to be an award winner. Let's crack it open. Now, I know I am, again, breaking a normal rule in this bar, that I'm using my Guinness glass to pour something other than Guinness. The only reason I'm doing this is because the Guinness glass is so easy to see everything that's in there. So let's give this, actually, you know, I thought I saw a little bit more of fingerprint than I wanted on there, especially for the camera. So let's give it a pour. Now this pours a very, very light yellow with a white head on it. Good amount of carbonation, and I'm not pouring super fast. Well, now I am. And the carbonation is sort of bubbled up to this. But you can see this is almost, you know, if I didn't know better and I was looking at this, I'd be like, uh-oh, IPA. But it's not. It's a Hefeweizen. So we're going to give this a try. Let's check the nose first. A lot of yeast here. This almost smells like a loaf of bread, but I'm also getting what I think might be a little bit of, it might be clove. It might be. I'm not really sure. I have to really double check this. And maybe just a hint of like almost a citrusy note on the back end. I don't understand really this nose at all. I mean, again, the dominant aroma is of that wheat within the beer. Again, it smells sort of like a loaf of bread. You know, if you put your nose up to it when it's just come out, sort of like that. And there is something else. It's almost like an orange rind type of like aroma. I don't know. It's really hard to place. You know what? Let's not take any more time on the nose. Let's see what it tastes like. Okay, the nose makes more sense. Front end of the tongue. First off, very easy to drink, a nice mouthfeel, good carbonation. Carbonation really opens the beer up a bit. What I'm getting, and I'm going to take another sip before I start talking about it actually. Again, the front end of this beer, it's that bready, sort of yeasty flavor that you get from most wheat beers. Mid-tongue, I'm getting a hint, just a hint of some type of citrus. I think the hint is more orange than anything else, but like it's so faint, it's barely there. Back end, there's a nice little hint of bitterness to break through and sort of, you know, remind you of what it is that you're drinking a beer, and that there is a little bit of sort of like that bitterness that comes with a beer of, you know, like this. So a little bit of bitterness on the back of the tongue, but not unpleasant. It actually sort of like, I hate to quote The Big Lebowski, but it sort of ties the room together, if you will. Excuse me. The carbonation might be a little heavy. It's very good for the, you know, for the sense of smell and the olfactory senses. It's not good because you constantly want to burp, because it definitely sort of like, you know, carbonates your stomach also. You know, this is a nice, straightforward Hefeweizen with just, like I said, just a hint of like orange, almost like the orange peel that you get like in an old fashioned. Like there's just a hint of it. It's not super forward. That's sort of what I'm getting here. With that being said, this is a really nice, easy drinking beer, if a little bit gassy. You know, I could pair this with just about anything, a pizza, a burger, you know, whatever I was cooking, this could be, you know, taken with. And while I'm at it, at 5.5% ABV, it's sort of like the equivalent of, you know, a regular Budweiser or something like that. It's going to not leave you incapacitated if you have two, which is nice. So this is a really nice, solid beer that I think you could offer to just about anybody who drinks beer, and they would probably find it enjoyable. Now, when I bought this, and I don't know why, it was in a 4-pack, and the 4-pack was about $15, $15.99, something like that. And I don't remember even where I saw this, but I looked at it. I like Grimm, and I figured, why not give it a try? And I think, again, it was like $16.99. Would I buy a 4-pack of this for $16.99? I had a second thought. This is a beer you can drink yourself. This is a beer you can give to somebody else, you know, and they'll enjoy, and you don't have to worry about it really, you know, testing a palate too much. It's there if you want to. If you want to go searching for the orange, if you want to like dive into like, you know, the fact that this tastes a little bit like, you know, liquid bread, you can definitely do that. But again, if you just want to drink it because you want to drink a good beer with a meal, this would be a good beer. I would definitely get this. And honestly, it's $16.99. That's not a terrible price for 4. Anyway, folks, I am going to call it a night. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you have, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, I would love to have you subscribe to the channel. And if you've tried a Heffeweissbier beer by Grimm or someone else, love to hear any comments if you like this particular style. I have to say, Stout's definitely my favorite. Porters after that. The wheat beers are probably going to come in a pretty close third, with like a triple IPA after that, and then a double IPA, and honestly, then the sours, the regular IPAs are going to be way over there. But with that in mind, you know, this is a solid offering by Grimm, and if you see it, I would definitely give it a try. Anyway, folks, thanks so much for joining me. Have a good night. Cheers.